Happy One Wheel Wednesday, everybody. My name is Scott Mendenhall. Thanks for joining us for another great episode. We have a great guest today. We will get to the introduction of him. I don't want to soft introduce him right now, but we're excited about catching up with him, seeing what the 2025 racing season looks like if you're brand new to One Wheels. On this channel, we spend a great deal of time talking about the sport, the new products being dropped, if that is a float wheel product, if that is VESC. We spend a great deal trying to bring everybody up to speed what's going on in the community around the globe. So we're glad you're here. I'm joined with the same cast as normal. We have my lovely wife, Holly Mendenhall, over here.
Hi, everybody. How are you doing?
She's an occasional rider. She's for those that, you ride when you have to. That's her.
I am. You can be a part of the sport and not always be on a one wheel.
I don't know what that feels like, but okay. So that's who she is. Then we have Lily, who she is
also an occasional rider.
But she uses her one wheel more to get like the grocery store or small errands, date night kind of thing. Lily over here, a cruiser. Yeah, that's fair.
Also, we're all witnesses to football. We don't play it. Like in the NFL.
Fans. What you're saying is you're fans, and just like you girls will play occasionally.
I could, though.
Yeah, but it's
backyard
nothing
football.
It's nothing like one wheeling like we do is almost somewhat similar to racing, kind of.
Just much slower.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, a lot slower.
Yeah.
Okay, but in breaking news this week, I don't know if you ladies saw this. This is a cool move by One Wheel. Their flagship One Wheel currently is the One Wheel GTS. It's the Mac Daddy of them all, those one wheels. It's the fastest. It's got the most power. It's got everything you'd want in a one wheel, especially if you're going to full send it. Okay.
Builder.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Okay. They just announced in the last week that they are going to give it. I'm calling it an extended warranty. They're calling the factory warranty, which is a 2-year warranty for your GTS, which is pretty wild. So
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Here, if you haven't seen the video they dropped, oh man, this is just a clip to the left on Instagram. You should totally go to it. The flagship warranty. It's hilarious. Their phone calls they take.
They are so fun. They did a great job.
Marketing team nails this one. I think you have Jeff from the Float Life right there. His comment. All right. He writes, cool move. That's impressive to see his name right there when we snapped the picture of it. But if you want to take time, you can read all of that. Go to Instagram to follow up on that. Pretty cool, though. 2-year warranty. Ladies, what's your first take on this? Like it? Love it? Don't really care? Don't need it?
Yeah, it's nice.
I think it's great. I don't have a GTS, but I think it's great.
2 years. I mean, people have had issues. We have a friend who he got his GTS, and then within a few months, he had to send it back.
Yeah.
So that's super nice, which he was able to do. But even 2 whole years is, and I like the Office parody. That was so good. I'm a big Office fan.
They nailed it. They nailed it. I think it's, in my opinion, with it. I get it. There are going to be a small select group of people that are just going to get that one wheel, the GTS, because it's the best that there is.
Right.
And they're just going to ride it on the street and stuff. Most people are purchasing that because they want to send this thing. It's going to tumble down some hillsides. It's going to be dropped. It's going to be, right? It's just going to be abused. So
if you are in a little bit deeper into the community, you're going to know that you can use and abuse that board.
Like when I go, I'm not a pro. I'm a Joe. I'm not riding as fast as our guest today or the Silvas or Bodie or any of the upcoming pros this year. But I do, man, my one wheel will oftentimes fall off rock gardens or roll down the hillside at Eureka Springs, dirt surfers, right? Like that just happens, and it's going to feel good to know, oh wait, I have a whole nother year. I don't know if it's retrofitted backwards. I didn't find any information on that. It would go backwards on the warranty of like the GTS I bought the first. Do I now have another year with this? Is that what I'm getting? Or is it from purchasing of a board now?
Now you get 2 years?
I don't know that. It wasn't really explained. I don't remember if I don't think it said anything in the thumbnail. So, but it really,
I kind of just assumed it was.
Yeah, that's what I did, but I did have more questions to that.
I should have looked into. Yeah, I kind of assumed it was.
Solid move from One Wheel. Exciting way to just, again, another way to market. Hey, we got this GTS board. This board is the only board carrying a 2-year warranty, factory warranty to it. Well done. I applaud the move. Good way to start 2025.
Well, just a question on that, and maybe it stirs up stuff, but do you think it is because they were having problems with it? And I think that anytime you have a whole new product, you're bound to have issues. You got to work some of those out.
Do you think that's not true with the XR Classic? So it's still a brand new product.
Brand new product. I think it's running.
I think they've got that one a little more
dialed. Do you think? No, I just think it's a different kind.
How would we know that?
I don't know if I don't know.
I just think it's because of the style of which you ride the GTS.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is it because the way the GTS is going to be ridden?
I could see the XR if it gets, you watch Bodie and he's riding the XRC all the time. And he is
riding it hard.
He rides it hard, but in the street side of things.
Right.
Maybe they put it on that board as well. I don't know. I think they have the data to support why they would do it. But I think it's a solid move.
Either way, I think it benefits.
What we'll do is we have our guest waiting in the guest room at the moment, and we're going to bring him in all the way from Michigan. This is it is top 2 rider, fastest rider in men category. Some people would like to argue that, but no way. He has the hardware to support this. He loves dropping off steps. If you say it can't be dropped by a one wheel, this guy's hitting it. He wears all kinds of padding and gear to keep himself safe. When you see him without his gear on, you're like, where'd the man go? Because when you see him in the gear, he's Incredible Hulk. Maybe that's his alter ego. This guy rides so fast that if you start a conversation with him at the beginning of the race, you don't get a finishing until the finish line. This guy's faster than lightning. He is the kindest, most gentlest giant ever out there. From the state of Michigan, Luke Austin, everybody.
Hey, Luke.
What's going on, guys? How's it going?
How are you doing, man? You doing good?
Doing great.
How is it up in Michigan at the moment?
It's gorgeous right now. The sun's coming out. We've got quite a bit of snow over the last few days, so we probably got a total of a foot on the ground.
Wow, that's
jealous.
Great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, wow, well done. Yeah. Well, we have, if we're counting like the ice that has been able to make this year in Minnesota, we're almost 2 feet of ice, like on the lake. It's wild.
Thick.
That's thick.
That's super thick.
There are roads, like in Minnesota where we live, this is what happens at this time of year. They start to build authentic streets across some of the bigger lakes because it cuts the commute down for the city. Yeah. Like straight up street signs on ice.
Especially up north.
So that you know how to make the turn. Like literally, it doesn't show up on any Google map, but if you're local, you know, from now until about March, you're cutting across the lakes. It's wonderful.
That's awesome.
It is pretty wild.
Nice. Super nice.
It's pretty wild, man. It really is. Like, there are people that live on islands in some of our bigger lakes, and this time of year, they actually get to drive their car to their home versus taking a boat. It's just...
Right.
It's the world we live
Huge
in.
Upgrade.
Yeah, for sure, your commute. Some people... Yeah, it's a great place to live. Now, our snow, it is white out there, but not... We don't have a foot. We don't have a foot of snow, so
I can still see a little bit of grass through.
That's pretty cool. Now, what do you do? Like, you're in the same boat as us. How do you get your one wheeling in? Is it just a lot less this time of year? Are you going indoors? How do you train as a pro in a state like Michigan in winter?
So right now I'm snowboarding here and there. I've gone a few times. That's typically pretty good core and leg workout. I wouldn't say it's as big of a workout as one wheeling, but snowboarding. But other than that, just exercising in the house, not riding much. We go to the skate park, meet up once a month there. So it gives me an opportunity to play around. But yeah, I haven't been riding much lately, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is. That's the way. That's what happens. I mean, I was on a streak of 366 days in a row riding my one wheel, and as soon as I got done with the year, I haven't rode it again because I don't have to and I don't want to. It's been too cold, to get suited up to ride in these temperatures in Minnesota.
Right.
It was so cumbersome, and then to not ride for very long because it got cold. So waiting for better days with less snow, and so that's like how close. Same. Like I've seen those pictures on Instagram of you riding indoors. How close is this skate park that you're riding in?
Probably 50 minutes from my house.
Okay, that's a drive.
So it's suiting up and getting out there.
Yeah, but that's pretty sweet. They let you do that.
I'm driving there for sure. I'm not suiting up and riding there.
Yeah. But, I thought that was...
Well, I mean, like packing up. Like you got to pack up and go.
Yeah, for sure.
Makes sense.
Just
right
out the door. Yeah.
I'm lucky. I got a gear bag middle of the year, or actually beginning of the year last year, I got a huge red gear bag to put all my gear into, and it just makes it easy to travel and get my stuff to and from. So
yeah,
going
I'm
down to the
assuming
skate park or going out riding, it's not too much more difficult.
it's probably like what I see hockey players carry. It's just ginormous bag.
Yeah.
And you're like,
It's exactly what it looks like. No joke.
Yeah, I bet.
So
Well,
for motocross, but yeah.
Yeah, it's because of all the, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but it's all the padding that you do wear that is a lot like hockey gear and things of that nature. But we were just talking about that new factory warranty on the GTS. How do you see that?
Right.
Do you like that move? Is it a
I think
solid
it's
move?
sweet. Yeah, that's a solid move. I mean, they didn't mention anything about the mileage warranty increasing, so hopefully that's just tacked in there. Or they're like, as long as it's within 2 years, they don't really care about mileage now.
Right.
I've been fortunate. My last couple of repairs, they covered them, so
Right.
That's awesome.
It's working, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. But it is their marketing of it was hilarious on Instagram.
It was good.
And that it just said 2-year warranty, wonderful. But the nuts and bolts, and I can't find anywhere to get, do I have more mileage? Can I,
right.
Or is it like you said? Nope, it's just 2-year warranty regardless of how many miles you put on there.
Right.
Because, again, me riding last year every day, and I have a lot of miles on my one wheel now because I rode every day. So I went out of the 1-year warranty. I didn't even get it because of the miles I just put on my board. Now, I was fortunate.
Right.
My GTS, nothing has happened to it that I had to send it in or I couldn't fix. So very fortunate. But it would be nice to know some of those details of what is this warranty. And maybe it's in the box when you buy a new GTS now.
Right.
Don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So hey, we one of the best pictures I've seen you post, or any one wheeler, and you have the rights to do this. It was a solid. I know you're a very humble guy, so I wouldn't say it's a solid. You're bragging. It's just the stating the facts. Okay, you were just stating the facts of what you did in 2024. For those that don't follow Luke on social media, you totally should. He posts some solid content. Always inspiring the way you ride. But here's you sitting with all of your hardware from 2024. Well done. Right there. 18 trophies total, 8 first places, 4 second places, 1 third, overall season champ, Float Life Fest Rider of the Year.
Nice. Wow.
Heck yeah.
I need to zoom in on that.
Okay.
Yeah, that was solid.
Well done.
Solid.
Well done.
I mean, there's not much room for improvement. There's a little bit of wiggle room. So what are you looking for 2025? If that was your 2024, what are expectations for you going into 2025? Do you have them wrote out yet?
I don't have them wrote out yet. I haven't dialed in which races complete I'm going to this year. So I believe it's going to be more focused on just riding on the East Coast instead of doing all the traveling like I did last year and hitting almost every race.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably travel less, hit a fewer races, maybe go to a few more like events rather than having to hit every race and not get to any of the other events that are kind of local.
Yep.
So that'll be nice. But yeah, I'm stoked. This year I'm going to Stokebird, so I'm super excited for that.
Really?
That's the first thing. Yeah.
Stokebird, that's in Miami, right? Is that right?
Yep.
Or am I wrong? Right.
That's awesome. When is that?
Yep. That's the last weekend of February.
Cool.
And it's not a race, right? It's a big
Nope.
It's a big gathering of people with good vibes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you know of any other pros that are going, or like people who typically go to the races that would be excited to see there?
I'm going down there with a couple buddies and taking my girlfriend down there. I'm gonna see Corey, from Armadillos, and there's quite a few people that end up showing up down there, and it's just an awesome way to get to some nice warm weather in the middle of winter.
Yeah, in the perfect time. Yeah.
Yeah, for us here.
Right, exactly.
That's awesome.
You know, it's funny. All three of us moved from Miami to Minnesota. I don't know what is it, 11 years ago or something?
Yeah, it's a little backwards.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, but we didn't own. None of us owned one wheels at the time, and I do wish I owned a one wheel when I lived down there. Because man, to ride on the beach, to just go down, all of it.
go downtown, go around town and everything. It's so fun.
Yeah. I have gone back down there now with a one wheel and done, and it's like, this thing was awesome. I would never drive my car because in Miami area, you do live close enough to everything and to just cruise around. The only thing that would really get you in Miami is those pop-up rains that happened every day.
Oh, yeah.
If you're on your one wheel.
In the middle of nowhere, it rains.
Yeah. But anyways.
That'll be fun.
I think it's just across Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't really, you can't really.
It's about 3 p.m.
No matter
every day in the summer. Downpour. So, but it would be, that sounds like a great event. Last year, I remember we followed it on our podcast and stuff, what they were doing. That's a great reminder to start talking about that one as well. Because that is a fun, like you said, for us in the Midwest, get out of the cold and snow. I just watched a weather report the other day saying that Miami is the only part of the United States that will not experience on Sunday below average temperatures in the United States. Miami.
Nice. I believe it.
Wow.
Yeah, I think here's what I think is the mayor of Miami paid the Weather Channel to say that, so everybody goes there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
That's what I
believe
thought.
it.
Everybody's going, all right, Destination Miami for next week.
Right.
Okay, so you have all those trophies. You got some seconds and thirds. Are you a guy that looks at that going, I want to improve those? That are you trying to, like, is it just, hey, that's 2024. 2025 is going to be different because I'm not going to race as many races. Is your overall goal get back to ORL? And we know we don't know what that looks like and how you do that yet, but is that will be your number one goal this year? What are some of those goals?
Yeah, I think ultimately I want to race ORL. So I'll have just a separate board just for the ORL sanctioned races. And then I'll also be racing a lot of the open classes as well because I'm building a high voltage VESC, and
Ooh.
you can feel the power difference between the boards substantially. So once you started riding a couple of my buddies' boards that are high voltage, and you're just like, wow, this is definitely some next level power. But that would give me the confidence to be able to hit like huge jumps and just keep pushing that big air aspect of the sport like I like.
Is that some of your mission as a pro rider, is to really build the sport as full send it, like your name, full send it, Luke? Is it to get a full send, like jumps? You want that to be a part of the competitions? Yeah. Would you like that this year?
Yeah, I would love that personally. That'd be sweet. I think it's more entertaining to watch. It offers a lot of controlled environment for people to showcase kind of some skills, and it just shows off the sport a little better, I feel like. But yeah, if we can dial in some perfect jumps for some one-wheelers to gap some big stuff or gap some big rock gardens, that'd be sick.
That would be awesome. And as you say that, you know what I immediately go to? Because I do see some of the issues is like, I would hate for you to go like Eureka Springs. That would be a perfect place to do this. You know, where they all the vendor tents are, that big flat area. You could totally put 2 launch ramps there and put a gap between it, right? I would hate to see you get injured doing that. It's such an early part in the race. Yeah. It'd be sweet to have where you can have a launch ramp into an airbag. Yeah,
the airbag would be the move for sure.
Oh, man.
They've had the airbag at Oak City couple times, and it was awesome.
I didn't know that.
It was so much fun. They had it at Deacon Shred as well.
Oh, really? Somehow that didn't make social media for me. I didn't see it, but that would be awesome. Get a launch ramp and an airbag that you can just keep moving around, like getting the gap bigger and just see who keeps sending it. Put a car or 2 in between. It'd be sweet.
Right, exactly. Heck
now, a car
I'm
or
down.
2.
When
I watched the X Games, the Summer X Games, and when they've been here in Minneapolis area, I love going to watch Best Trick on dirt bikes. It's not motocross. It's just where they come in, you get 3 tricks, land them, don't land them. But I love, like when Travis Pastrana landed a double or triple backflip, I lost my mind and I watched it through TV. But that made me a fan of a sport that I had never done. And I do
exactly. And I'm big into that too. I love watching, those big motocross jumps or big BMX jumps where they're just doing this insane trick over this huge jump, and I'll sit there and watch them try it 3 or 4 times in a row, even though they're not racing, they're just doing this wild jump, but it's entertaining as hell to me.
Yes. Yeah, your jaw drops, right? Like, how did they do that?
Right.
And so I could see a part of that. If we build it, people can watch it. Because that's where I'm at. I just keep saying, listen, for this sport to really go, we've got to see where spectators can see it. Eureka Springs packed full of amazing trails. We know that because we've been in it, but fans can't get in there and watch you go.
Right.
So,
or have live footage of the race or something like that.
Yeah, if we could do that. But, man, that's true. So we've seen it. Onewheel's been trying to do it the best they can at ORL. And just, it's expensive, and to have that many cameras to capture everything, it's just, you miss stuff, right? It's just hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I want people to, the big air that you speak of, I want people to see what I've seen you do, is I've had the opportunity to film some of those bigger spots in the trails at your dirt surfers or up at ORL. To see you and the other pros do what you do is inspiring. You're like, what you learn really fast, I'm not a pro. You know what I mean? That's what. Because I think.
Sure.
Because I think what happens is people go, oh, I can go fast on my one wheel on pavement. And that's what I think some people think a pro is in one wheeling, is that, oh, yeah, I can go fast. But it's not. Sure. It's about being controlled and put together in all those terrains and switchbacks and drops and all those things. And it's. More eyes can see it, the better. More people get to see what you're doing. It'd be phenomenal. Like this, we have a picture of you. You must love stairs. That's all I can. But explain this picture to the viewers here. This is straight from his Instagram account. Just tell us what's going on here.
Oh, well, this was at Footlife Fest. That was one of the cabins. They were running basically a train of people out from inside the cabin, would go through across the deck and then jump the stairs.
Nice.
Now,
it was a good time.
Is there any bonks there? Like, do you have any?
There was a bonk option, yeah.
But you're just going.
Yeah, I felt like the bonk was kicking you up too high.
Do the owners of this cabin and this property just love seeing these things?
I felt that way. Like, I was like, geez, are you guys like, this is okay? But like, the owners are there. They're cool with it, I guess.
Oh, wow. Well, I think especially taking it into the
they don't say anything. I know. I was really surprised they were so okay with it, but they, didn't hear anything bad, I guess. So.
Yeah, but at the end of the
no
day,
news is good news.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that one wheel, the only way I could see it really hurting something is if you, right, and maybe people were dropping short in the one wheel smacking the steps.
Oh,
right?
Sure, right, yeah.
But I'm just thinking it's getting that place dirty.
No, I mean, just sweep it up.
That's all I was thinking.
No dirtier than what my kids do when they walk through.
Yeah, we ride our one wheel in our house all the time, especially this time of year. I'll ride around in the house a couple times. It's not getting it.
Right.
I'm not. It's no dirtier. Anyways, that's a sweet picture. So I do have a challenge after I show a couple more that you get to explain. Here's another one of you straight from your Instagram account. Just, again, explain it to us, what's going on in this shot here, because it's an epic shot. It's just straight up like superhero pose right here. That's what this is.
It's a really good picture.
We're on our way to, I believe this was Race for the Rail. Let's see the board real quick. Yeah, Race for the Rail, because that's a stock rally board. So we're on our way there, and this is stopping at the Salt Flats on the way.
Cool.
It was like 100 degrees that day, super hot.
That's what I was going to say. That picture, you can't tell the heat. It actually kind of looks like it's probably nice and cozy. But it was, when I drove through there, we did about 5 o'clock at night, and it was 107 degrees, and I was like, the sun is setting, and it's 100. Sheesh.
It's so wildly hot. And the car, so that was one issue I was having this year, was after I'd charged the car's AC wouldn't work for like 30 minutes.
What?
For whatever reason. Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know what, like it was trying to cool the batteries down or something. So then I would be driving for 30 minutes with no AC. It's like 100 degrees out, get all the windows down. Then finally the AC would start working. But then within like an hour and a half, we have to stop again and then do the whole thing again.
My gosh.
Gross. But so it was kind of sticky driving through that desert.
Yeah. One strike for Tesla right there. That's obviously not all Teslas, right? That was just yours was having an issue?
I'm guessing my car is just having some issues. It's been used and abused. It's got 160,000 miles on it.
Wow.
But let me ask this with the Tesla. Does the miles matter as much as it does in a gas car? because you have less moving parts in the thing, right?
Right. I mean, it still has a same like AC compressor you'd use
Yep.
for making air conditioning, so that component itself wears out over time in normal vehicles as well. But seems like it's a
Okay.
little early. But again, I'm not sure if it's using this pump more often than a typical vehicle because it's
Yeah.
also using it to maybe cool the batteries or some other component I'm not familiar with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this
That's
is my first electric car I ever purchased, so I knew it was going to be kind of a trial and error, figure it out as I go.
okay. So if this one ever like just done with it, would you buy another battery car or electric car, or would you do something else?
I'd probably do a hybrid, the Ford Lightning like hybrid truck
Yeah.
that Shane Autry just recently got one. It's badass. It works so good. You can plug it in the back. You can charge while you drive. The
Yeah.
vehicle just turns on and off. It has a big battery pack. It can back charge your house from your car.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
impressive. Now it was not the electric version of the Lightning truck, but when I lived in Florida, my only mode of transportation was a Buell motorcycle that I had tweaked out, bored out the motor and everything. So it was fast. It was a lot of fun. And I would race all the time down there. Like you just knew when you pulled up to a stoplight, if I was the first one, right? And whatever car came next typically got themselves there because it was, let's race to the next stoplight. And the only time I lost in a race, and I wasn't even paying attention, it was a truck. I didn't look at what it was. I was just like, this is just a truck. No big deal. I got this thing.
Yeah.
And because I didn't give it everything I had, I got beat by a Ford Lightning truck. And so I've never liked them just because of that.
Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
So when you say that, I got problems with
That gives mixed emotions
Okay.
on
I
that.
do. Because I got...
I'll get the Chevy equivalent then.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I'm fine with that.
It's just a Ford.
I don't know. I'd probably go Ford.
I remember pulling up to the next light, and I looked at the guy, and I was like, I didn't know what you were driving. And I just was like,
I'm sorry. Can I get a retry?
Yeah, can I get a redo? And he's like, I'm taking the ramp next. That's
funny.
My motorcycle, I had it to where I'm such a light guy, much like you. In order to keep the front wheel down between first to third gear, I had to lean over the handlebar so that I could keep the nose down. And I back cut my gears so that I didn't have to pull a clutch in. I could just hit the shift, because then what I did is so that, I don't know if now I'm talking about things that aren't one wheel, but in like a clutch system, you have this hook teeth like this, so that when you hit a clutch, it opens up so it can fall down and it grabs. Well, I sent that clutch in and all the mechanism where they make it wedge like this, so now you don't need the clutch. It just falls in on either side of it so that it made my shifting faster.
You've completely lost me.
Well, maybe some people are catching on, maybe some are not.
Sounds cool.
It was awesome. Too bad that doesn't translate into my one-wheel ability. That was motorcycles. Two wheels is better than one, I guess, for me when it comes to racing. You made mention of building a board, more power and stuff. Is this going to be like, because you've been building your own boards for a while, what are we talking? Are we doubling the power you're used to? Are you, what's the upgrades here?
So I'm going to be building a 32S board. I'm not sure on the controller yet. It's either going to be an F6 or the Thor 400, or maybe the Enoid MK8, but
there's a lot of
options. From what I've heard, there's a few options. I'm not sure about the X. There's also the X12, but again, I'm not sure 100% sold on a controller yet. But I just recently got the battery in, so I guess I gotta start pushing forward with the build. I've got the Superflex motor. I'm gonna put into it. It's gonna have a 12x8 tire on it.
Wow!
So even bigger than last year.
Wow!
And then, should be sick. I'm excited.
A 12x8 tire. That's colossal. I mean, like that's the opposite of 5.5.
Right, exactly. Yeah, completely opposite.
Yeah. Wow, that and so will it be all what is the right term? Aftermarket pieces to this that obviously it will be looking like a one wheel, so we'll refer to it as a one wheel, but there's no future motion parts on this thing then.
Yeah, probably. Maybe I do like their. Actually, yeah, probably not. Probably won't have any of their parts on it.
So you'll do totally different sensors. What would be your choice on sensors, foot pad sensors?
I would go with the V5. What is it? I forgot the name of it, but yeah, the new V5 force sensor, I think they call it. Or if TFL gets their foot pad sensor out, that sounds very promising too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are you just in the dreaming phase of this, or do you have some of the products already? It sounds like you know what you want.
Well, I've got the battery.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Holy cow.
Let's go.
That's big. Are you waiting on things to
134
arrive?
volts. I'm ready.
Some things you just, obviously the sensor, you'd love for the footlight
I'm still
to have
dialing down what components I'm going to build, or what components I'm going to use for the whole build. So I've got the motor, I've got the battery, I need to pick a controller, all the small accessories I'm not too concerned with. I'll have to pick those up as well, though, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's kits online you can get, I've found, that have a lot of those components already put together. So I'll probably just get one of those kits and then, slowly piecemeal it together.
What's the
This will be
goal
my
time
first
to have it done
full
by?
build myself.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Before Stokebird.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
I know you don't know, like maybe you have wrote it down. You're a bit of a genius. So maybe you already have wrote down a spreadsheet on like, hey, this part weighs this much, but like how is this going to, sounds like it's going to be a heavy board.
It's going to weigh about the same as my Vesk did before.
Okay.
So it's not going to be terrible. Probably 36 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right there with the GTS.
Yeah, should be all right. It's got a few more cells than the GTS. So the GTS is like 113 volt. This is 134 volt. I think the cells jump from 27 to 32. So.
Okay. Yeah, which that's how you're going to get more power. Partly, right? Because you got more batteries sitting in there.
Yeah.
Man, I can't wait to see this thing.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds...
Yeah, I'm excited for it too.
This sounds awesome. Now, like based on our conversation last week with Nick and dirt surfers and things of that nature, you're going to be able to take this board and race it. Obviously, not if you're... I don't know how the ORL will work this year, but when you go to dirt surfers, you can race that against GTSs. You don't have to go... and say, hey, I've got a Vesk board and this is what's in it. Are you excited about going up against all these other boards with something that you're creating from the ground up?
Yeah, super stoked. I kind of like the whole idea of building my own board. I'm, kind of techie anyways, so it's always been fun. I've kind of helped assemble my last Vesk, but mostly was built by my other buddy who I bought most of the components from. So this will be my first hands-on full board build. I'm excited for it.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I can't wait to see just footage online.
I was gonna say, are you gonna film any of this? Are you gonna put any of this together?
Yeah, definitely. I'll put some media together and do little clips of it or do pictures of it at least at minimum.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, just to see the tire in itself as it's put together, that's gonna look awesome. Because last year, as the big tire gangs were coming in, you just looked over and go, "Wow, that's beefy." It has a look to it, and I like that look. I think, and I like the comfort of that tire, and especially you as a guy that likes to drop off things all over the place. That's going to help you.
Right.
That's going to be really nice.
I think so too, and it'll help protect the motor and just give you a little more cushion. And should be sweet. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I think we got one more picture
huge,
of you.
This tire is already mounted. It's massive.
Oh, it is? You already have it on a rim?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
I have it on the Superflex. It's sitting upstairs. It's just super huge. It's surprising. I don't know if it's going to fit in these rails, but yeah, should be sick.
Oh man, that's okay. Too bad we didn't have this conversation beforehand. I said bring it so I could see it. But we have one more picture of you. Again, you tend to like staircases because this is another staircase for you. But I believe it would be the skate park you were speaking of. But tell us where you're at and explain the picture to those that are watching at this moment. Here we go from his Instagram.
So yeah, this is at Modern Skate and Surf. This is the skate park that the local crew meets up at. It's my buddy Hayden that I ride with all the time was hitting these stairs like it was nothing. Like it's so easy. He was just riding right down. I'm like, wait, let me watch you do that a few times. So I watched him do it a few times. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give it a shot because I didn't have all my gear on, but he made it look so easy. I wanted to try it anyways. So so I went up there. I gave it a shot. It made it down a few times really easy. I'm like, oh yeah, this is actually a lot easier than I expected. So then I started going faster and sending it a little harder.
When I look at this picture, one, I didn't think it was you because you didn't have all your gear on. So it's like, is this him?
Right.
Second, when I look at the picture, I honestly, it looks like you don't have enough air on that shot. It looks like you're going to case the bottom of the steps. Well, obviously,
I'm going to land on the steps. Yep.
Yeah, that's what it looks like because it just. But obviously, you had the speed. But that's a great shot.
Yeah, it's so cool.
So
no, that picture, I definitely hit the steps on the way down. That was the intention, though. Like you air off, you clear the first few steps, and then you start like you skip over the last few, and then you hit the bottom.
Nice.
Oh,
wow.
So you're like, oh wow.
That's no.
He's like, that was the intention.
No. That's what I say. Like
so you're actually riding the steps down.
Yeah, I applaud you for that.
Yeah. That's impressive.
That's commendable. You're a genius, and you have, like, I don't know how to tell you this in a polite way, but you just have a set on you that's just, dang. You just,
I love that.
You just.
I don't know how to say this politely.
Yeah, but dang. No way. I would look at that and go,
funny.
Nope. I've always said my board, the weakness of my board is steps. Like, and then you can go say, stop being
I thought you were going to say me.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say too. The weakness of my board is
me.
No, that's the second problem.
Steps
No, but now it's
me.
number one because steps aren't a problem. It's now me. It's genuinely me.
You can at least go down steps. You can't go up steps yet. At least I haven't found a way. Maybe the next board can.
Well, no, I've seen some people that have used the overlanders, which you love to ride, right? I've seen people hop it.
Yeah.
Hop up, which is not riding up it.
Yeah.
That doesn't
definitely
look.
I've seen that too.
Yeah. And same with snowboarding. You can't go up a hill with your snowboard, but people do it. You know, they hop up the hill and all of that.
Right.
I've done it, and it's not fun. It's not like, wow, that was enjoyable to hop my way back up the hill.
It doesn't look neat either.
No, there's no cool factor to it. That is what I do liken to when I see people using and hopping up the steps. It's like, yeah, there's no flow to that.
This place that you're at looks amazing, and they just let you guys come in, no problem, have fun.
Well, we rent it out after they close.
Oh, genius.
So yeah, they close at like 8:30, and then we'll rent it out for like 2 hours after that.
Oh, nice.
That would be awesome.
Is it mainly like small area, like more trick opportunities, or is there any place in it? Is it big enough to have some fun, like fast fun, or not really?
Yeah. We're definitely. It's pretty big. I mean, it's hard to compare a size to it, I guess. Trying to think, but
like
regardless,
how long
it's
can
pretty
you go
big.
Straight for?
I guess not very long, but you can make a line, you know.
But I'm taking this.
You know, we can just kind of make a line through the whole course. You go up this ramp, down that ramp, and
Got it.
So what we do, or me and my buddies do that race, since we're not huge into tricks, we'll go there and we'll just play tag. So we'll chase each other around,
Love it.
Try to get away, and
That's
it's a ton of fun.
But to hit, I'm assuming it's got quarter pipes and things of that nature throughout there. Yeah. Those are fun to take your one wheel. It is pretty fun to hit those things. And if they have bowls,
it's definitely unique.
Come in with speed around. So there is a lot. I don't think Lily's ever been inside one. So
I mean, I can picture these little like obstacle things.
Yeah, but there is
pipes,
gaps.
like I know what you mean.
There's space between them.
Right.
But you don't have miles.
Well, and if you are making a line.
Okay, so as you travel, I got a new goal for you, okay? When it comes to steps. Now, if you can figure out how to clear this, I think you can make a lot of money, and it's going to be impressive. But when I saw this and I was putting this together, this is what came to my mind was we're just going to put the steps on for you to see. These steps can be found out in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I knew you were going to put those.
The Rocky statue is right around there.
I've actually been up and down those steps a couple times.
Okay.
But not on your
one wheel, right?
Not on my one wheel.
Yeah, so I think we should put a big launch ramp at the top and a big airbag at the bottom and send it, man.
That would be sweet. I'm down. Let's go.
That would put you on the map past one wheel fans for sure. Probably make it in Guinness Book of World Records. I think you're the one to do it. Like,
Hell yeah. That'd be
You're the
sick.
one to do it. But now, for everyone at home, maybe you don't know who Luke Austin is. This guy, you're learning a lot about him. But when he shows up, you can see him on camera right now. He's a very fit guy, but not a very large man, very tall but slender. But when he goes to race, he transforms into this incredible Hulk. Jersey's on, but now you got all this gear on. You were telling us you're switching up your gear this year. Is that what you're doing?
So last year I had like so many layers I had to put on. So I'm hoping this year I can shed a few layers and just go with like a full-on hockey gear.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Nice.
Like,
Yeah,
because last year when tell us what you're coming from. You had layers, but what consisted in that layers that you were wearing?
So yeah, I had like 3 layers on top.
Oh wow!
I had this Liat 3DF like um, D30 hard or soft
Yep.
shell underneath for like a base layer, and then on top of that I wore like this hard plastic black armor motorcycle shell I got off Amazon for like a hard shell over that, and then on top of that I wore a chest protector that buckled around the sides, protected my rib cage and stuff, and then also had shoulder protection built into that chest protector from a different piece of protection. So I had bought like the RXR Protect bumper kit, but it was like a whole separate harness you had to put on. So I took it apart and put just the shoulder bumpers that I wanted that helped protect the collarbone into the chest protector to help keep it all, or at least help slim down how much it was to put on, or reduce how many pieces I had to put together.
Now I hear all that gear.
Yeah.
Let's just. You're pretty injury free last year, right?
Yeah.
So for somebody that's listening, why would you do that? But there's the goal, right? Make it to the end without
Right,
any massive injuries. So,
that was my goal. Every race, I have to make it to the next race. So if I don't make it to the next race, I really messed up, because that was my goal last year, was to hit every race. So
now I missed that there. Did you have any hip? Like do you wear shorts that are protecting your hips and things of that nature as well underneath?
Yeah. Yep. So I wear the same thing on the bottom, Liat D3DF or whatever they call it, D30 hip protectors, which are like a soft shell underneath. And then on top of that, I wore, actually, it wasn't a hard shell on top of that. It was just another soft shell that was a little bit bigger, covered a couple different points that the Liat's kind of missed.
Yep.
So I had those 2 pieces on, and then for knees, I wore knee pads, so the Fox D30 knee pads underneath. I ended up with, what's the name of that gear? I forgot now.
Like the pants you were wearing?
No, the knee braces. I have knee braces I wear that they're made by K8 knee braces. But yeah, so they're full on knee braces, but big plastic hard shell. I had Liat knee braces, but those broke pretty quickly. They use a lot of plastic parts. So these ones are also plastic, but they're a lot heavier duty, and they're shin bone, and like the thigh cover is like one big solid piece of plastic. So offers a lot of hard shell protection for my knee. Yeah. And then also limits how much movement my knee can do side to side, and how much twisting can happen from, my bottom limb compared to my thigh.
Wow.
So helps just keep it all together.
Yeah, but to hear all of the gear you're riding on, it's like, how do you even ride? Like, that's impressive that you can even move. But it explains why I've seen you, at Dirt Surfers dropping off that big old drop, and you're landing in shell, and you just get up like, that's no problem. So it explains it, and also to anyone looking to race, and you're like, how do I not get hurt? Here's the guy.
The more the better.
Yeah. Now, I have all the Liat stuff you speak of. I've got all the soft stuff. Now, I'm not dropping like you. I'm the guy when it's, hey, that's over a foot drop. I'm walking my board down, and I'm okay with that. Sure. So I feel like my gear is okay with what I'm doing. But if you're wanting to send it off the staircase at the Philadelphia place, you're going to want to have all this on, I guess.
Yeah, I'm definitely expecting to fall at full speed very often. So
wow. And so now you think your thought is hockey gear is going to allow you to just wear that and get away from all that other gear.
Right. And hopefully be a lot lighter, because right now it's like 23 or 24 pounds of gear I wear. So
Yeah.
if I can get that reduced by half, that would be huge. If I can get it reduced even more, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Hockey gear is great. I mean, they call this Hockey Land in Minnesota. I guess we produce the most pro hockey players from anywhere else in the world. I didn't know that until recently.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
And so you have hockey stores all over the place here. And we were just in there to get our hockey skates sharpened. And you look at the hockey gear, and I had said this would be, not knowing that you were going to, I was like, this would be actually good riding gear because it protects everything, your chest, your back, your kidneys, but you can move.
Yeah, we walk in there and all the kids are like, I could use this for dirt surfers. I could use this for windmen. I can. It's like, oh, well, I guess
it's gonna be the move. Everyone's gonna be moving into hockey gear next year.
I do think, I think you're right. Because those guys are taking massive impacts at high speed.
But they have to be able to move.
Right.
They are moving very quickly. So
yes.
It's like, you might find
they're very agile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because everything you just spoke of is either, most of it, not all of it, but it's like motorcycles, mountain bikes, right? It's for bike riding. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to have your arms free. So you're constricted on the way up. So this would allow you to move much freer. I hope that works out.
Yeah, I think it'll work out good. I'm excited to try it.
Yeah, I'm going to watch you, and if it works, I'm going to then invest it for my children because I think I can get that way cheaper than Leah gear.
Exactly. That's kind of where I was because all my gear is trashed from using it for years now, and just been kind of adding to it over the years. But again, it's just so abused. I needed all new gear, so it's like if I'm going to get a fresh kit, it's going to be $1,000 worth of gear from any kind of motocross or motorsport company. I could get the same hockey gear set up for probably less than $500 for all their top of the line stuff.
That's genius. Good move. I can't wait to I can't wait to hear how that goes. So we've covered. You got a new board coming. It's going to be one of a kind. You're switching up your gear. So it sounds like you're changing up your approach for 2025 on a lot of different things. Which is pretty cool. So let's go to are you going to try to do the 3 dirt surfers races as you're speaking of your racing season? Are you looking at that going, I'm going to try to win all 3 of those?
Yeah. That looks like it'd be a fun challenge. And I like dirt surfers. I'm excited to try their new race this year. And I won Windman last year, so I definitely have to go back and hold that down.
So fun.
And that's a little bit close for you. It's up here in our neck of the woods. And then,
it's not bad.
No, and nor are the other 2 races. Now, have you ever been to Turkey Mountain, where the new race in Oklahoma for dirt surfers is located?
I think I was there once, but just for a short time. Rode 1 or 2 trails, but I don't recall exactly if that was the same mountain as the one I'm thinking of. Okay.
Yeah, I've never rode there. We have plans in the next month or so. A bit like you're saying, you're going to Miami to ride. We're going to go to there and hopefully film and have some content for people to be able to see what does Turkey Mountain look like from a one-wheeling's perspective. So we'll go down there and film there. But it'll be cool to see.
You meeting up
with Nick?
Are you meeting up with Nick while you're there?
Yes, he's our tour
guide.
Are
you going to actually record each individual race course? Because that would be epic.
Yeah, that's right.
Or does he not know? Does he not know yet?
Oh, no, that could come on.
Oh, man, he's always thinking.
He said last week he has tons of trail ideas. It's whether or not they make it into the race itself.
I think what he said
just film them all.
If he has 6 to 8 segments for the race, he's already got 15, 16 that he's thinking of. So he's already
right.
Yeah, we're gonna do our best to help be able to document what each of the races will look like for everybody to be able to study it before they get there. I don't know if he'll know every exact race, but
I'll ride those trails for you guys.
But we're gonna do our best to
look at how it is.
To be able to have footage out, to be able to talk knowledgeably about that race as we help. Hey, new dirt surfers. It's right now. I'm just saying, hey, Nick says it's great, so it's got to be great. I want to be able to say, hey, this is what the dirt is. Is it shell? Is it really rocky?
What it looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
Because when we showed up last year to, and it's not going to be dirt surfers this year, but with Lemonade Float Fest and doing the race there, I remember going into that really blind, and I'm not a pro, going, wow, this is the chunkiest. It's beyond chunk. It's rocky. And it was,
it was a unique terrain for sure.
Yeah. which I thought it should
Really
have been
sandy too.
Right. If you weren't on big rocks, you were in sand. That's how I felt. And so many people, if you remember, so many people's boards were just being beaten up from just the terrain there. I wish I would have done that for people, is to get their film, let people see the terrain, to be able to go, hey, this is what you can expect when you come out here. And so we're going to try to do that for the circuit of dirt surfers this year. Because I just, man, it's
nice.
I like the idea. 3 races, find out who's the best. It'd be so cool if, like in your bracket, you have the same people racing and you can truly see, right? Like, there's something to be said about 3 races and the same racers racing that versus one and done.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel the same way. I like the series aspect of it.
Yep. I like that. That's a lot like motocross, and surfing is a lot like that, is that you have a body of work that you're working on versus this. You got one shot. And there's also a lot of stress and pressure to that you like as well, to, hey, you got one shot to win this and all this money's on the line. There's a whole side that's enjoyable. But it's like, it's your story from this past year, right? You showed up and it just didn't go your way and you were out, and it's like, I felt like as a fan, we missed an epic race down the mountain.
I know, right?
I really felt that way.
It would have been sweet.
It would have.
I was stoked to race.
Yeah,
Definitely bummed, but
Yeah, and obviously
played out.
It's the way it played out. I always say you can't unthrow a rock. It's like, hey, that's the rules, and then you roll with it. And but it would be really fun to see a circuit of the same people going head to head, and great if you win all 3. But it'd be a lot of fun too if it's like you go to Eureka Springs, let's say you win it, let's say Windman, Austin Silva wins it, and then you have to come to the third one at Turkey Mountain to find out who is the best. That would be
that would be cool.
Now, it might not go that way at all, but it would be cool.
Right. That would be neat.
It'd be fun to follow the story. So I'm excited about that circuit. I think Nick's on the cutting edge of some things there. And so that's going to be a really fun experience. And as I've said to you so many times off camera, it is fun to watch you race as a fan, but also as a dad, to know that my kids, the boys and the girls, all look up to you the way you ride. And, I think what's so cool.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Even what the gear you ride, that you make it, like for kids, they're always looking like, hey, should I wear gear or should I not? In this household, it's not a rule that our kids have to wear any gear. There may be a soft rule that, hey, it'd be great if you had a helmet, and that's about it. But we don't tell them they have to gear up. But because they're watching you do it and Austin Silva wear some gear, they start going, I should probably get some gear. Which is great.
Right. Absolutely.
So you're giving permission.
Fun,
Yeah.
Trying to promote that. More gear, the safer people can ride, the harder people can push it.
Yes. So I thank you for being that. I don't even know if you really know that you're doing that when you're doing it, but you are. The younger ones coming up going, I got to get this gear to have longevity in this sport. So before we say goodbye to you today, Onewheel's dropped some new boards. I know you're making your own board, and you have the GTS, or you did. What's your thoughts on the XRC, the Pint S, was it they brought out, right? The Pint S?
Yep.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on those boards? Is it like, that's great, but not for me? What are some of your thoughts with those new boards dropping recently?
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. They're neat. It'd be cool, but again, that's something that kind of interests me. I want as much power as I can get. There's no way I can step back in power now.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's well said. I think the XRC and the Pine S is great boards, but once you've had, even for me, a GTS, it's like, okay, let me downgrade. And I'm not even that guy that needs all that power. It's just, it's nice to be able to just, I can do whatever I need to do on that board, and I don't have to worry about it. But I would like to ride the XRC. I've yet to get to ride it just because of the XR. That's where I started.
You loved the XR, so
yeah,
there's something for it, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
But
the
again,
XRC looks great, and that's the board I'm going to recommend to any new rider for sure. It looks like it's like a GT, but a little bit with a lowered ride profile, which is great because the GT
yep,
was top heavy and kind of felt wobbly. And then that's going to make it feel a lot more like just the XR by itself, lowering that platform down. And
yep.
then it has the option for some aftermarket rails that could make modding it super easy and fun for people, for new riders. So yeah, I think it's going to be a great board for anyone just getting into sports. Definitely the one I'm going to recommend.
Yeah, that's well said. That's how we feel as well. It's like, hey, you're getting into the sport, go XRC. It'll allow you to have a board for a longer period of time because you get a pint.
Right.
Any of that platform, that platform is fun, but
yeah, it's fun.
You outgrow that platform very fast.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Especially right when you're first getting into one wheeling, you're like, I can't stop one wheeling. Why did I get this pint? I need more right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly what.
What happens is you get out there. I think the pint is great for you until you get into a group ride. You don't even need to hit trails yet.
Right.
And you show up on a group ride, and now you can't keep up anymore. You're like, what have I done to myself?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think
yeah,
we only
probably
have...
true.
Yeah, you get left behind. Like when we do our personal group rides here in the Twin Cities, and there's 60 to 70 people riding, and we do 3 stops along the way for our pint riders to catch back up.
Yeah.
Because if not, it's no longer a group ride. It's it's the pint players back there, and so we just meet up to make sure we stay together because the pint platform is great. You either outgrow it really fast or you realize I don't have speed to keep up with anybody. And so I do think the XRC is a great introduction into the sport. And you can still hit the trails.
Yeah, exactly. It's still a very capable board that people are going to be able to keep and ride for a long time and make it their own and have a lot of feel and connection to it. I think will get them into the hobby longer term.
Yep. And I also think that you can, with that, the minute I saw it drop, I was like, man, I would just take a GTS motor and put it into that thing, which would give you a little bit more of that power. And then they came out and said, hey, you can upgrade this to do that. So it makes sense that you can even upgrade those things. So, but I know you like building your stuff, and the power you want is astronomical. I think as you create those boards and you ride it, it forces Onewheel to continue to look at that GTS and go, that was great. But already, to say it's outdated is a little strong, but it's not going to be
That's
right
how
by the end.
Technology works, though.
Yeah, it sucks.
It does. Like as soon as you buy something top of the tier line, like within a month, it's
no longer.
Outdated.
Yeah, I think
like, oh, there's a new thing came out. It's better now.
The thing I have read in a lot of the technology things, I don't know if this is true with Onewheel products, but like technology, like computers and stuff, when they're dropping their computer right now, like Apple does this all the time, brand new phone, new laptop, they already have the other laptop ready to go. They just have to sell this one. So by the time it hits the shelves, they already have the next product that in a year they're going to give. That's how far ahead they are.
Yep. They start doing all the marketing for it, getting it prepped and ready to launch. And it's
crazy.
Yeah.
How the business plays.
It is how it plays. So when you build your own, you can kind of do it at your pace and you can take bigger jumps, I think. You're not as held to waiting for like I am. I'm not much of a
right.
I did all the tinkering when I got into drones. Like when they first hit, I was like, I want to be able to film because I like to film things. So I was like, let's get a drone. And I soldered everything together and made all my mistakes. And it's like, I will never do this again. And that was a drone. Not much harm done with a drone. But I can't imagine me making those mistakes. And I'm trying to go 30 miles an hour on a board that shuts off on me. And it's my fault.
Yeah.
So
I think I'll feel better about it, at least that someone else didn't mess this up and it was me that messed it up. So at least it's not someone else to blame.
Yeah. There's a lot of that. You kind of know where it could have weak spots when you build it. So that's something to be said to it.
And this is kind of your wheelhouse. You said it before. You like this stuff. And
yeah, he's a tinkerer.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
I like tinkering. I know how to do all this stuff. So might as well get her put together myself and have.
And what does a Onewheel Pro do?
Full build.
What's a Onewheel Pro do in this wintertime? They tinker. That's
they
what we're
build
learning.
a brand new race board.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Austin, we thank you for your Luke Austin. Sorry, we thank you for your time today.
Absolutely. Appreciate your time.
So good to catch up with you. For those that don't, please follow. If you don't follow him yet on Instagram, go give him a follow. You will enjoy his content. It's very inspirational if you're a one-wheel rider to go, what am I doing with my life if I'm not riding like that? It really is. You do. Every time I see you post something, I'm like, what if I just rode in a straight line today? How about the one where you almost run over a remote control truck? Was that what it was?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was like 3 guys driving their RC cars down the trail. Apparently, so they're very expensive RC cars, I've come to find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really close call. We had just gone down this trail like 3 or 4 times beforehand. It's a segment we run all the time. So we knew it was clear. So we're hitting this thing at speed. And I come up around that corner and there's 3 people standing there and a bunch of stuff on the trail. I'm like, oh God, I just start yelling out, look out.
Oh, wow.
You know? So
I didn't catch that from the post.
was...
What I felt from the post was like, you knew these guys, you guys all messing around. You didn't. Wow, that makes it even better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude, just barely missed them. I was yelling out so that my buddies behind me would slow down so that they didn't run into them. But yeah. Intense.
Wow. Yeah, if you would have hit that, you would have gotten, I mean, I don't know if you're going over that thing. I think you'd have got launched off your board. Obviously, that car would have been messed up royally.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and they are spendy. That is expensive.
Yeah, they
hobby.
said that from posts that people were making on the comments on that video. Apparently, those things are upwards of $3,000.
Yeah. Not knowing what's inside that thing. Yeah, we got some. We have some people up here in the Twin Cities that love building those things, and I just wild. And it is. It's like one wheeling.
That's when you ride by and say, "Get a one wheel."
Yeah. Actually,
exactly.
Yeah. But the feeling I think we get when riding in trails, they get taking their cars in the trails. I don't know how that translates to them when it's just their fingers, but they love it. But it's for everyone that
entertaining.
It is. For anyone that doesn't know the clip, you got to go to Instagram. And your handle name is Full Send Luke, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah. So go look that name up. You'll see what we're speaking of. Drop a comment that you watched him on the show today. Luke, anything else you want to add today? Did we cover everything for?
No, man. It's great catching up with you guys.
Yes.
Thanks so much for having me on, man. It's awesome.
The first pro of 2025. Woo-hoo. We started with one of the best.
Woo-hoo.
We're stoked to have you on. We'll get you back on here as the season progresses. And I hope you come and defend your title at all of the races that you did take first, especially Windman. And it'll be fun to see you. Did you won at Dirt Surfers in Eureka Springs, right?
Yep.
Was that 2 years in a row?
Yep.
No? Yeah, okay, I thought so. Sometimes I think it and I'm like, am I wrong on this? So, like, man, you are the guy.
So this year would be a 3-peat with that too. So
there you go.
If I could get all 3 Dirt Surfers and a 3-peat at actual Dirt Surfers, then
that'd be so
bro, that would be a storyline.
Triple crown.
That would be a story. It really would.
That'd be fun.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna wrap my head around that for a little bit and see if I'm gonna just root for that. Because I'm a guy that likes to root for stories, the storyline. What's fun? So man, that's I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to root that you. Typically, I'm always Austin Silva, but because the 3P, I think that'd be fun to see you win 3 times at Dirt Surfers in Eureka. I could get behind that.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I know there's a lot of hungry guys out there that are coming in for it, so I'm excited to see the competition this year.
Speaking of, Nico just put in the chat, catch you at all the races, Luke. We still haven't had a proper showdown at Windman.
I know, we haven't.
He's
for real.
already.
We've been having some injuries back and forth, so this time hopefully we actually get to race.
Yeah. All right. Look at that. Another storyline.
Let's go.
Okay. I think this year I'm going to make just to create like some energy. I'm going to like make posters of like Luke, Austin, Kenny 3-peat. If Nico gets to Windman and you get to Windman, have the two of you heads face to face.
Right.
Who will win?
That'd be sweet.
Just to create some of that.
Windman's kind of like the Super Bowl.
It's
sure, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make some of those this year in good gesture, not out of creating drama, but to just have fun.
You guys all like to have fun.
For sure. Build hype. I love it.
Yeah, feel that. All right, enjoy your foot of snow. And enjoy the build.
Bye, Luke.
You kind of inspired me
Heck
to
yeah.
build a one wheel. You have really, as much as I've you've
do it.
inspired me. Maybe I should do this just for fun.
Oh,
A lot
no.
easier these days now.
Okay.
There's a lot of kits online. You can do it pretty easily.
So yeah, I see. Like my question is
Thank
XRC
you.
or do I build one? If I build it, I have more power that I'd never use. But my boys can.
Right. Well,
Okay.
I mean, you
I
might
gotta-
use.
I might. To outrun bears and wolves in Minnesota.
Exactly.
Wow.
Okay, Luke Austin, we've talked to you a lot longer than you. You're gracious to give us more time than an hour, so you're a good human.
No worries.
Enjoy your evening, enjoy dinner, and we'll catch up with you during the race season, okay?
Thanks, Luke.
Sounds great. Thanks for having
Bye,
me on.
Luke.
See you guys.
Man, great guy right there. That's
Always
yeah.
so nice.
so easy to talk to. If you ever see him out
Let you geek out on the motorcycles for a while.
yeah, he's just listening and smiling. He's not rolling his eyes at me. He's a good guy. If you've ever gone to a race and you see him and you're like, oh, can I go? Go up to Luke
Yes,
Austin.
for sure.
Any of the
For
pros,
sure.
to be honest with you, go right up to him.
Yes, all of them.
I can't think of
enjoy
one
seeing
pro,
people.
male or female, that is unapproachable. They're wonderful human beings. Go up and say hi. Get their autograph. It'll make their day that you're asking for an autograph. So it's just a great community, fun. They always got smiles. Even when they're not having the day they want, they always stop and go, yeah, let me talk. So, man, Luke Austin, thank you for your time today. Thank you for your knowledge and the posts you post that only in my wildest dreams will I do those things. However, I would help him. If he came along, I would help him jump the staircase in Philadelphia. That'd be awesome.
Oh, to like film it and like
Film it, get stuff out there.
Okay.
A big enough ramp. Because I do think the thing with that sport, when we talk about launch ramps, how to another launch ramp landing, a landing spot, it's all math. It's the angle it throws you, right? And so if you get some engineer minds, I think Luke Austin's got one of those.
Yeah.
You just start doing the math of the trajectory. If I go this fast, I'll land here.
Talk about making the sport known. Go to a place like that
and do it. It's like Evel Knievel your way out of this
Nico
thing.
could figure out some of the physics.
Austin
side of it.
Silva could.
For sure.
Those three, put them together
Neil
in a room.
Bennett, oh my word. They like
You put those four in a room and we
Look
might
out.
end world hunger. It'd be wild. They're just smart.
There's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah.
Just through one wheels.
Yeah, this is great. Okay, everybody at home, thanks for
Nico
hanging with us
commented,
today.
This is definitely a Midwest goodbye.
Yeah. We call it, but you got to wrap up the day, Nico. And we call these Minnesota goodbyes. It's like your goodbye, and then
Goodbye now. Goodbye.
about
Goodbye
500 goodbyes. Other than that, it's just the way you do. Just make sure people feel loved, Nico. Hope you feel good out there in California, where. Again, speaking of, and this is part of the goodbye, I suppose, and we could have let in with this. Anybody that's on the LA area, having to put up with the fires, our heart goes out to you. The organization we work with are sending resources out that direction to help in relief efforts. So we're not, when we post things of praying for California or praying for LA, we are doing that, but we also are sending money that direction to help those that have been lost everything. And so our heart goes out to them. There's a lot of great one-wheelers in that area that our heart goes out to. And everybody stay safe out there. And, the thing we're praying for is safety, but we're just praying for rain and the winds to stop blowing because, my goodness, it's devastating to watch. So we should have led with it. Sorry we're ending with it. But our heart goes out to all of those that we know that live in L.A. that are a part of the Onewheel community. Please be safe. Okay. Everybody, have a fabulous week. We'll see you next week on Onewheel Wednesday. Hal, thanks
Bye,
for being with us.
everybody.
Bye.